I don't know what's happening to me. I'm here, but I'm not. Please get me out. Please get me out. Please.
The vaults of Fallout have always been a creepy layer on the franchise as a whole. From their failed experiments to their odd layouts and residents, they've always fascinated me. I remember simply listening to the vault stories Oxhorn posted on his channel. Welcome to the Elden Nexus, a place where the sparks of fiction converge. Allow me to tell you stories and fill in the blanks. Today I'd like to dive into one of my favorite vaults from Fallout 3, Vault 112. Thank you Oxhorn for helping me research this vault, but enough with the formalities. Grab your Nuka-Cola and let's get into it. Vault 112 is located in the Capital Wasteland, just a short jog from the scenic Old Olney. But don't let the charming exterior fool you. What lies within is straight out of a sci-fi horror flick. Built by Vault-Tec, the masterminds behind all of our favorite post-apocalyptic nightmares, Vault 112 was designed with a very specific purpose: virtual reality. As someone who has a bachelor degree in this sort of technology, I thought it could be fun for me to jump into this vault, as I think I could give you some unique insight of how this technology works, as well as the story and world building capabilities. If it's used humanely, however, well, Vault-Tec always does that. Let's talk about the mastermind behind this virtual reality first, Dr. Stanislaus Braun. A mad scientist with a god complex and an unhealthy obsession with control. Dr. Braun designed Vault 112 to be his own personal playground, where he could manipulate and torment the minds of his residents. In the real world of Fallout, Braun is long gone, but in the simulation, he takes on various personas, most notably Betty, a creepy little girl with penchant for sadistic games. Imagine getting punked by a kid with infinite power and zero empathy. Yeah, well, welcome to the vault. I don't know why, but scary little girls always freak me out in horror. I remember playing Fear and just turning my console off the moment that little girl walked across the hallway.
Why are you running?
The vault, like other vaults, has a standard entrance that functions as an airlock and decontamination area, serving as the only link to the outside world. Once inside, a single passage leads down the main hall. Here you'll find 12 Tranquility Loungers arranged around a large mainframe, each connected to a terminal that monitors the condition of the subject within the lounger. Additionally, there's another Tranquility Lounger in the Overseer's office, situated to the south of the main hall. The vault's sole medical unit is accessible east of the main hall. Since the human inhabitants are all immersed in the Tranquility Loungers, Vault 112 is maintained by special caretakers called Robo-Brains. These Robo-Brains are non-hostile and lack combat inhibitors, even if provoked. When you enter the vault, you are greeted with the message that your arrival is 202.3 years behind schedule. Due to the indefinite nature of the Vault 112 experiment, it relies exclusively on geothermal power provided by a SurePower geometrical unit and backed up by a X-ray SurePower geometrical unit. Unfortunately, the geothermal turbine levels are off limits. In the main hall, a Think Machine 3600R mainframe consoles the simulation, syncing all the Tranquility Loungers and handling graphic processing and medical status for each occupant. Because it's maintained by Robo-Brains and better concealed than most other vaults, Vault 112 remains intact, unlike many others in the Capital Wasteland. With the exception of Vault 101, the outcome of the experiment is ambiguous. If Dr. Braun designed the simulation to satisfy his sadistic urges, then it succeeded entirely. However, if his goal was to create an eternal virtual haven for the residents, his descent into madness and the resulting eternal torment of the inhabitants suggests that the experiment was a little failure. Vault 112 is home to the Tranquility Loungers, as I said, a device that puts the occupants into the virtual reality simulation. Sounds like fun, right? Well, just wait until you hear what kind of reality that we're talking about. The Tranquility Loungers, known as Visiontrons, are oval pods containing a single chair. These chairs are equipped with two high-resolution displays and coils positioned right in front of the user's face. The hardware necessary to process the user's input into the simulation is housed in the back and the base of the chair, and the simulation itself runs through a processing center that the Visiontron connects to, such as the Think machine and the mainframe used in 112. Somehow I think that these loungers do not respect the established UX of virtual reality. Would they have figured out how to mitigate motion sickness? Since the simulation takes place in your brain, I think we don't need to worry about these things. Though it does make me think way too far into the whole thing. Like, who designed the town? Who designed the clothes that people are wearing? I just imagine a freelance 3D modeler being paid by Voltec. Or worse, working at gunpoint like, come on little Timmy, the bulbs are dropping. We just need 4 more black and white 4D styled bicycles, Timmy. The programming in the Visiontrons varies depending on the simulation's purpose. For instance, the civilian version in Vault 112 have built-in security protocols to prevent users from being harmed by injuries or death occurring within the simulation. On the other hand, the military version, used to simulate the Battle of Anchorage, has its safety protocols disabled. This disabling results in cardiac arrest for the occupant if they die within the simulation. Now let's enter the heart of the horror, the Tranquility Lane simulation. It's designed to look like a perfect 1950s American suburb, completely with white picket fences, cheerful neighbors, and total psychological manipulation. Dr. Braun, or Betty in this instance, uses this idyllic setting to play twisted games with the residents. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, spoiler alert, you have no choice, is to navigate this suburban nightmare and find a way to free your trapped minds. Along the way, you'll be forced to do some pretty dark deeds, thanks to Betty's cruel sense of humor. If you ever wanted to make a child cry by destroying their favorite toy, well, no. Too bad, because that's just how you start. Yes? Well, have fun, I guess. The following characters live on Tranquility Lane: Betty, Doc the dog, Old Lady Dithers, Mabel Henderson's, Maybe Hendelsel's Mr. Handy, George Nussbaum, Pat Nussbaum, Timmy Nussbaum, Roger Rockwell, Janet Rockwell, Martha Simpson, and Bill Foster. Betty also gives you some tasks during your walkthrough of this super comfortable reality. Your first task that you will get is to make Timmy cry. You have some options there, including attacking him physically, convincing him that his parents are divorcing because of him, give him a military school brochure to fool him into thinking that his parents are sending him away, or just straight up kill one of the parents.
Emotional, damn it!
Another task would be to break up the Rockwell's marriage. You can tell Janet that her husband is cheating on her, place Lacey's underwear from the Simpsons household on Roger's desks and tell Janet that he's cheating or that he wears it. And lastly, you can read Janet's diary indicating that she'd like to kill Martha, then use the rolling pin to kill Martha and tell Roger about it. A third task is to kill Mabel Henderson in a creative way. You could rig the chandelier to drop on top of her, place roller skates on the stairs to make her fall to her death, sabotage her oven so it explodes when she tries to use it, and of course, use the security console in the kitchen to enable security lockdown and reprogram her robot to be hostile. And the fourth and final task, kill everyone. Find the pint-sized slasher mask and knife in the doghouse next to the abandoned house and then kill everyone in true slasher fashion. Except Betty, Doc and Mr. Handy, of course. Those are valuable for later. After completing the task, Dr. Braun, as Betty, will thank you for the entertainment and reveal that Doc is actually your father, who has been watching in horror the entire time. So, how do you escape this black and white hellscape? By outsmarting Betty, of course. There are a few ways to break the simulation. but the most satisfying one involves activating a failsafe that ends the entire experiment. To do so, you'll have to uncover the dark secrets hidden beneath Tranquility Lane's perfect facade. Think of it as a twisted scavenger hunt, where the prize is your freedom and the risk is eternal mental torture. Fun times. Once you trigger the failsafe, the residents are freed from the virtual prison and Dr. Braun is left powerless, finally getting a taste of his own medicine. I think having a vault which is an escape from the atomic horror of the wasteland is a logical thing to have. People would want to escape, I think, and if I were to be one of the first residents of the vault, I'd be a-okay with being hooked up to a simulation rather than living my days in a confined little vault with up to 100 people. Though, as you know, the simulation has an admin. A sort of stereotypical Discord admin that without a doubt abuses host privileges when playing Minecraft multiplayer with his friends. The admin kills people, only to resurrect them and have fun all over again. It makes for a great villain. When walking through the wasteland of Fallout 3, you stumble upon this vault and get a whole vibe switch. Suddenly the world looks better and feels alive, almost addicting for the player character as they explore what these lands used to represent. Of course, not everything is rainbow and sunshine. Quite literally, everything is grey. As you imagine, this place gets brutalized by Betty. This type of quest breeds two people, those who want to stop Betty and those who don't. Some people might acknowledge that the only thing stopping them from committing bad things is a lack of actual consequences. Betty knows that if she kills someone in here, they'll be fine. They'll be back if she wills them to, showing that in life, the only thing that would have stopped her is consequences. Others will cling to their absolute morality and put a stop to her, showing for an amazing clashing of interests. I know I've said it before, but let this be an inspiration if you are currently writing something, making something in your lore, your OCs, whatever you are making. What would your character do if presented by evil without consequences? Would they fall back on their oath? Be too cowardly to take action? Would they indulge? These are great questions to ask about your world, people, or even an individual character. Really take the time to think about it and let me know what you think that they do in the comments. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. In 2 weeks there will be another Fallout video, and after that I'm open to suggestions, so drop a like, leave a comment, and of course subscribe if you think that this would be your thing. I hope you enjoyed your Nuka-Cola and have an amazing night and or day.